Hey everyone, let's get y'all a message. As usual, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Rylan, spirit name Medicine Eagle. And if you're coming back to the channel, welcome back. I love you lots. Thanks for being here. All right, I have kind of been channeling a lot today. We're under this Taurus supermoon energy tonight and tomorrow night. Kind of falls in the middle of the morning tomorrow. So both nights, we just got this really beautiful, grounded, stable, but very strong, firm energy coming through. So I'm interested to see what the message is going to be. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Let's get into it though. Let's go with the archetypes. I want to go with the archetypes here. I just did a members only reading. You can check that out over in the membership on this channel, but it was really, really beautiful. And I had used the archetypes. So I'm also going to use the archetypes over here for you. Let's see what wants to come through for the YouTube collective. This beautiful, beautiful full moon evening. And this is not necessarily a full moon reading, by the way. I already did one of those, but this is just kind of, just happens to be this energy. We have the Starborn, the Judge, and the Creator. What are these? Okay, we have a lot of cards coming out. Okay. Okay. Okay, very interesting. So we have the Mirror on the bottom of the deck. This was the main energy in the members only reading I did. So this could be a little bit of mirroring energy. We shall see what happens. But the Starborn, the Judge, the Creator, and the Seed, the Cave, the Tear, and Eros. Wow. Okay. This is a freight train of energy coming in here. You are... It's like I want to wrap up your energy into this caricature I'm kind of seeing, and it's a beautiful caricature. It's a character. It's like a hero. Your energy is heroic. It feels like a gladiator. Like I'm seeing like the movie like Braveheart, or like, yeah, like, what is that movie, 3000? Like, this is Sparta. I just watched How to Train Your Dragon, the live action last night, and it's like the Vikings. Like, it's giving this very, very strong warrior hero energy. But it's not like it's an aggressive, loud energy. It's still very peaceful and very calm, but it holds so much like unseen power and potential, untapped like mystery. You are the Starborn, so it's like people almost see you like you've come from another planet or another galaxy. Maybe you have. Maybe you resonate with starseeds. Maybe you resonate with, galactic spirituality. You come across to people as someone who is not like from this planet. You're not from this planet. Maybe that'll be the title of the reading, because you're really not. Your energy is not of this planet. Your energy is here to change this planet. You have this strange, and it's not strange to me, but it's strange to a lot of the world. It's strange to people who are very of the old earth frequencies. You have this strange duality to them of you're very balanced in like your masculine and feminine energy. You're very balanced in this creative, potent, like water, ocean energy, but also this very like, very contained, like discernment and like the Judge here, right? This is Libra and justice energy. It's just this very good judge and decision making, judge of character, this ability to make strong, like logical decisions while still having this really deep, to other people, like sometimes even illogical or irrational, like flow and mystery and unknown to you, but it's like you have both. You have both very strongly, and it really like confuses people. It really F's people up when they see you, because they're just like, how? I don't understand. Maybe you relate in your life to like, you as a child, I think, like naturally exhibited this, and maybe you got punished for this. You got in trouble for this. It's like people saw you as too much, and maybe you got put into like a box. You got labeled as something, because it's like the world can't place you. It's like they can't place you. They don't understand you, because it's like you're just too I want to say like just too multi-dimensional, like too multifaceted, too I'm just seeing like star child, like starborn, like you're just too expansive is the feeling for this world in a lot of ways. But that's the whole point. You came here to expand the world, not to fit in, not to conform. And maybe that's what you've spent a lot of your life trying to, sort through and trying to navigate. You've been trying really hard to figure out where you belong. But you belong to this unique, like rebellious spirit is what I'm feeling. And it's not even rebellious. And like, again, it's not like when I see that warrior, that's the essence. That's maybe how people perceive you. They see you as like a troublemaker, or someone who's like aggressive, or someone who's hostile, or causes like violence even. But that's not you at all. It's like, do we all have the potential for that? Yes. But that's not who you are. It's almost like people see you as that because that's what they project onto you, because that's what they would be. That's what they would kind of act as in your position, or that's what's within them. That they're putting onto you. That's how they perceive power. They perceive power to be like violent. They perceive it to be aggressive, but it's not in you. It's different. It's a different kind of power. It's a different kind of passion. It's innocent. It's creative power. It's the power to like be the truth. And you've suffered for it in this life, is what I'm seeing here. You've really suffered for it. You've suffered for just being you. You've suffered for existing in this way. There's an interesting story I'm seeing here, and this is a collective story that's still evolving. You came here as a seed. The starborn and the seed. Yeah, so definitely you may resonate with starseed. You came here as like a seed to be planted. I'm almost getting like the imposter, or like Among Us, that game Among Us, where it's like you look like everyone else, but you're really not like everyone else. You're very special. You're very unique, and it's like your DNA, your blueprint here is very unique. It's very different. Not that everyone else doesn't have these potentials within them, but it's like you came here knowing this was your potential as a soul. Like you came here rearing and ready to go with like implementing a new way on this planet, however that looks, even if it's just in small ways. It's very big energetically. And it's like you came to be this seed, but instead you got put in this cave for a lot of your life. It's like the cave where you felt isolated, you felt alone, you felt shoved away. Maybe literally when you were younger, it's like you felt ashamed of who you were. Or it's like, yeah, exactly what I was saying. People made you like chop off all the parts of you that made you this special, unique, expressive person, and tried to make you just into the robotic, conformist person that everyone else is, that everyone else feels they have to become to fit the system. But you didn't come here to fit the system. You came here to break the system. And the tear here is like, in this time, in this space, you went through so much suffering. You went through so much emotional turmoil, so much transformation, underworld transmutation. And the tear here, it's like, you've had to heal so much emotional trauma. You may even resonate with coming here to, well, obviously, you came here to heal like generational trauma as well. You came here to take on the trauma of your ancestors, the trauma of your earthly past lives, even if that resonates. But you came here nonetheless to really experience difficulty. Like, I feel for you probably resonate with old soul as well. Like, you came here so that it's almost like suffering in the beginning of your life. A lot of the beginning of your life was much harder than the people around you, is what I get. This could be like, you might relate to indigo children, you might relate to like crystal children, rainbow children, that whole philosophy and that whole concept. You just have like really had a hard time here. And it's like this is almost like the opposite problem I think a lot of the world thinks that it's in. It's like you have the opposite problem. You came here already like a genius and like so vibrant and colorful, and I think everybody does. But you've spent so much of your life trying to undo and like get away from the influence of the world around you to just be you. Whereas I think like a lot of other people are on a journey of becoming something, or they're on a journey of almost like trying to what's the word for it here? I don't know. I guess it's like you're just like a very advanced soul. You already are an advanced soul, and you may feel like coming here you've actually been set back beyond other people in like the physical 3D realm. It's like other people feel like they're ahead of you, but you might be realizing at this point in your life like what your real purpose is here. And your purpose has always been to be a mirror for people. We talked about this in the members only reading too, being a mirror for people, just you existing as you are. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to like get ahead and have a ton of success the way that other people do. You weren't meant to follow that template. Like, and that might have made you feel like there was something wrong with you in the past in your life. Like, why can't I be like everyone else? Why can't I just be in a normal job like everyone else? Why can't I just have XYZ, you know, like 2.5 kids and like a house in the hills and like the perfect job and all. Like, why can't I just fit that? And like, you may have really gotten down on yourself. You may have felt such a lack of sense of self-esteem because of that, but it's like, you were never supposed to. You were always supposed to forge a different path. You were always supposed to show people a different way naturally. I'm getting Aquarius energy here, very Aquarius. You were meant to come here for like the age of Aquarius, the initiation of the age of Aquarius, where you were meant to show people how much more is possible through the mental realm, right? Like showing people there, it isn't just this one way. The way people have been going about it for centuries and millennia, you know, this same loop of survival and like accumulation and war and fighting, like just over and over and over again. You came here to break the cycle. You came here to show people like the higher creative energies of humanity. You came here to plant a seed. Hence why your work here is so difficult, because it's in that time, right, when the seed is planted. That's when it's at its most vulnerable. When a seed is growing and it is in the early stages of being a seedling and pushing its way through the soil, it's in the underworld. It's literally in the underworld. It's planted under the ground. There is no light, there's no darkness, but it can sense through its very existence, through its very being, through its very like genetic makeup. And the plant, the seed inside the blueprint, knows that it has to grow towards the light. And so it does. It pushes its way out of the seed. And slowly but surely, with faith, that little seedling pushes its way up and into the sunlight. And it's still very vulnerable for a long time. Even then, it needs to strengthen and grow. And you've had to do this. You've been like this seed planted here, but you've also just had like, even when you came up out of the soil, it's like there were these like weeds and these other big nasty plants shrouding you and crowding you, but yet you've still pushed through. It's like you're just very resilient. And with Eros here as the final card, Eros talks about like that raw, you know, passion and desire and sexual energy that we have, all of us have. It's this like gasoline that pushes us forward into like creation, reproduction, really that creation, reproduction, they're one and the same. The Kundalini energy, right? The bonding, the merging, it's like a drive. You came here, I feel, to learn how to use that. It is the most sacred energy in our world, right? That energy that starts at the base and that we can channel into all forms of creativity, creation, connecting, feeling into reality around us. You came here to move that energy up into a higher form, but also to access that energy, to me, because maybe you relate to having come here and not being so in touch with that energy when you first came, but through this gritty gauntlet, you know, becoming the gladiator, you've had to access this energy, and now you are. We've talked a lot here about like this dark feminine energy or this shadow energy coming through over the last number of months. To me, that's what this story is. It's like you've been getting in touch with this. And I've really noticed in the collective, a lot of readers and a lot of like intuitives and a lot of spiritual people in this community who I've been following for a couple of years. You know, a couple of years ago, it was so much more about like the light. It was so much more about this expansion. It was so much more about this, everyone was kind of discovering it for the first time, this new way of being, right? And I've noticed that as time's gone on, and this year specifically, a lot of these people, myself included, have kind of like gone into their baddie side a little bit, have kind of like pulled out the like, you know, the all I can see is like somebody in like a leather outfit on like a motorcycle, like just like Lady Gaga, Born This Way, like that vibe. Like, I'm just not that intense for all of you, but I've just seen so many people accessing that side of themselves, which just reminds me of this Eros energy. It reminds me of like, yeah, it's not a bad energy. It's a neutral energy, actually. And it's a very powerful energy when we can use it the right way, when we can access it. And it's like, this is part of that whole you being both, right? You're not just this sort of like out of touch spiritual person who just is like up in the clouds all the time, right? Like a lot of people like to make spiritual people or like people who relate to these concepts out to be that, right? But no, you're not. Like you're also like grounded in like the grit of grounded reality, and maybe that's something you've had to work on. Maybe that's something that the last couple of years or this year has made you face, and therefore you've accessed this Eros very well. And in some ways, you know, a lot of society, I think, idolizes this like sexual energy or this like sexual display that people put on, right? We really glorify it, we really put it on display. But it's almost like the way that you've been able to access it is like, you know, just so much more like raw and powerful way. And it's like you're here to awaken people to so much more than what they're just looking at on the surface. It's like if regular society thinks that they know what's going on, it's like you are coming in here to be like, no, actually, this is what's going on. Like the whole, like, it's like a lot of people are only willing to look at this much, but you're willing to look at like that much. And that comes with the burden of, you know, it's not just about like, oh yeah, like I can see this much and you can see that much. No, it's like it comes with the burden of, you know what that means. You know that means like, oh, I have a responsibility here. Like I have a responsibility here to be the truth for people. I came here obviously as a soul to be the truth. And I hear like some of you even out there, it's almost like scary to think about having to step into that role. You're like, I actually don't want to really do that. Like, I wish I could stay comfortable and conform the way that you know, that again, like I said, you always wanted to, but like on an ego level, but on a soul level, you know deep down that like, this is what you came here for. This is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time you move. It's literally that song. It's like lightning strikes every time you move. I was just seeing a lightning storm, thunderstorm last night here where I am, which is so rare in November. Like a tower. You're like a tower. You're a walking tower for a lot of people. A walking lightning strike. Lightning by Charlie XCX as well, significant. It's funny, all this like sort of, yeah, like dark feminine kind of energies coming through here in this reading, all the references and whatnot. I'm very into, you know, I'm into all that. So yeah, anyway, and this is regardless of gender, by the way, like you can relate to anything, but this is what it feels like. It just feels like you're very in touch. And it feels like at this time for this collective, there's like a completion happening. There's a completion and like a reflection, an awareness of what you've been through and who you are now and what you're ready to do in the world, like the work you're ready to do, the mirror you're meant to be. It's really, really cool. It's really badass. Really powerful. So let's get into the tarot to find out more. I kind of want to go with the intuitive night goddess for this one because that's pretty on brand. That's pretty on theme. What wants to come through here, Spirit? But it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like you're very good at transitioning between the two too. Like, you know, when that sort of darker energy is called for, and you know how to like sort of like feel yourself in it and like kind of get the engine revved up is the vibe here, right? Like I was mentioning, like that sexual energy, it can be like a gasoline, and you know how to like be in touch with its raw form. You know how to kind of get it going. But then you know how to refine it. You know how to like say like, okay, we've got it going. Now let's not waste it. Let's not like just throw it into combustion. Let's refine it into like a higher form that brings growth and expansion and beauty. It's really, really beautiful. I'm seeing like the roots of a tree, like you're in touch with the full roots, but also like the crown and the leaves and the whole in between. It's amazing. Okay, what wants to come through here, Spirit? Show me more specifics, more details about what we need to know about this beautiful energy. Queen of Cups. We have a heron and a swan, it looks like here. Nautilus, clams, shells. Three of Wands. Ooh, and she's like running with some kind of looks like she's holding a flag in her hand, but maybe it's just part of her dress. The firework in the background. What else? The Witch reverse, which is the Magician. One more. Justice reversed and the Warrior of Wands reversed, which is the Knight of Wands, I want to say. And we have Queen of Pentacles reverse on the bottom of the deck. Let's take a look at this, Spirit. What is this? So with the Queen of Cups coming out to lead, I feel this is how you lead your life. Like I said, people might perceive you on the surface to be kind of like intimidating, like a warrior. People might want to make you the villain, even, I'm hearing for some of you. Like, people might really want you to be the villain in their story. And you're kind of like at this point where, again, you're in touch with the darkness and the shadow enough to be like, okay, if you want me to be the villain, I can be your villain. Not like because you're trying to be, but like, it's whatever. I don't need to correct you. Like, I know who I am. So if that's what you need so badly, then sure. That's part of your growth, is for me to be that kind of catalyst, then I guess. But it's like, you're just very, very aware of your own inner emotions. You're very introspective too. This is like the most introspective of the kings and queens to me. She goes the deepest into herself. Like, you've done that work. That's why you had to go into the cave with the tear, right? Like, something about your life specifically puts you into, like, I'm seeing the 12th house as well in my mind's eye, just that isolation. Sometimes I can talk about like isolated places like prisons and hospitals as well, like just something that like is the metaphor of that, where it's like you felt very imprisoned maybe, and you felt very shackled and very enslaved to other people's opinions of you or other people's ideas of you, or just the power structures that be, maybe before you even awakened spiritually. It's like you just had a very difficult time, and because of that, the only place to go was like in. You went in, and you went into being in touch with yourself. And as you awakened, as your natural soul, that seed, you know, started to grow up out of the underworld, it's like you naturally became more and more in touch with this side of yourself and more aware of it. And as you've gone through levels of it, it's just like you've really blossomed into the true queen of emotions, again, regardless of gender. And it's funny because the other reading I did today was the King of Cups. He was leading the reading. He was the main energy. So it's just like the water element in general, emotions. Like, you are masters of your emotions. You have mastery over the emotional plane and what they mean. And I almost am getting, it's like there's no emotional situation that could come your way that you wouldn't feel is like somewhat familiar or like you haven't handled to some degree before. I'm getting like a lot of tingling on the left side of my face and on the left side of my body in general, but it feels very nice. It's almost like caressing, which I never get. It's like, yeah, your feminine side is very nourished and nurtured, or you're very good at nurturing and nourishing your feminine side. Maybe this is a reminder to continue nourishing and nurturing your feminine side, taking care of yourself, like mothering yourself, replenishing yourself, like also doting on yourself. Like I'm just seeing like somebody going to like the spa for like a full spa day, or like spending time like in the bath with like essential oils and bubble bath and like scents and just all of like, this is like the sensuality of Taurus full moon as well, like just all of that. This is a beautiful time for that. Feeding yourself really well, just like being with yourself and loving on yourself. Because the Three of Wands in this deck, it looks very celebratory, like a lot more celebratory than the normal Rider-Waite. The fireworks, she's like running. It's like she's running to the party that the Four of Wands represents, because the Four of Wands is always about like a celebration, a party, like a coming home. It's like she's on her way there. She knows she's going, but she's enjoying the journey. She knows like she's about to find all of the resources. She knows she's about to hit it big. Like she knows she's just going. She's on her way. She's like the firecracker, and she's just flying, like she's just running with her hair blowing in the wind, like la-di-da, like letting it, just enjoying the trip, enjoying the process as she's getting there, because she knows where she's going. This is going to be awesome, but she's not like trying to get there with her eye like at that place and, oh, once I get there I'm gonna enjoy it. She's enjoying the actual journey, which is such a lesson I feel you've learned. You really have come to this place where you don't even almost care about the destination. You know the journey is like the process is the destination. And you've learned that's why you came here. I'm getting that for a lot of you, that's part of this whole realization you're having about why you came here and what we were just talking about before, where you felt like you couldn't achieve these goals other people were achieving, where it's like, why can't I? And I have the 10 of Pentacles here in front of me on my computer as well. It's just like sitting there in front of my eyes. It's like you felt like you couldn't accumulate this like wealth, or you couldn't accumulate this just, yeah, like where I am in the world, like this American dream that everyone else is after. Because you were never meant to. You weren't supposed to accumulate like things and reach like goals and like milestones the way that everyone else makes it out to be, right? Like it's almost like a badge of honor for everybody to reach these like milestones and goals in culture and society, but like a lot of them are very hollow at the core, and a lot of them are based on like collective insecurity. Confirmation verb wants to come through. But you're just kind of like such a rebel. Like I'm getting such a rebel, like fun, fiery spirit. You're like, I don't care. You're just like, I don't care. Like at this, you used to care a lot, but you're finally seeing it. Like you're finally seeing how you don't need all that stuff. And yeah, you're surrounded by it and you might fall into that thinking a lot. I definitely do all the time. But you're just like at this point where you're like, no, like I'm here. I'm enjoying the process. Like wherever I go, it's going to be beautiful because I'm going to learn something. I'm going to transform myself and I'm going to transform those around me and just my essence. Like that's why I came here. It's a whole, like I said, this is a revolutionary way of being in this world right now, because everyone else is getting themselves entangled and involved in systems that are just so constricting and restricting and robotic, and like just feeding this huge machine that is just not even like benefiting the world. It's destroying the world in a lot of ways. But you're taking a step, you have like a step in there, definitely, because we all are part of it, right? But you also have this huge step out where you're like, but I'm free. I'm free, and I'm trying to show people, like, you don't have to. Like, all those things you think you need to do to be secure and happy and whatever, you actually don't. And if you just trust spirit, and you trust the source, you trust God, universe, source, spirit, whatever you believe in, like, if you just trust that greater power as your provider, like, it always comes through. It always does. So what I'm getting here with these last three cards then, the Witch, Justice, and the Warrior of Wands all in reverse here, is there are going to be people out here who want to slow you down. There are going to be people out here and situations out here moving forward in your life because you came here to be someone who stands out. You came here to be a revolutionary. You came here to be a rebel with a cause. With and without. Again, you have this duality where it's like sometimes you're fighting for something, sometimes you feel called to fight for things, and other times you're just like, I'm just out here living just because, like, I just enjoy life. Like, it's really, I don't know, it's really interesting. It's really beautiful. And a lot of people, again, don't understand it. They don't get it. They're like, are you like, you're either like, it's this energy of like, you're either with us or against us, but you're kind of like, I'm not really either. I'm just beyond that. Like, I'm not with you or against you. I'm just here to be. Like, I'm here to observe. I'm here to transcend that and kind of like just be part of life and just observe it for what it is and see it with this neutral, detached awareness and just move through it joyfully and freely. Like, that is the free conscious creator. That is like God consciousness. So there are going to be people, it seems, in this life. If there's any challenge you have, I think it's around, with Queen of Pentacles reverse on the bottom of the deck too, I think it'll always maybe be around, and maybe you relate to this with this Taurus full moon, maybe that's why this energy is coming through for this specific collective, is maybe there is, from time to time, certain insecurity about your security, insecurity about security. That's kind of like redundant. This is a very, it's paradoxical, and I'm getting close to paradox. And when I'm getting close to paradox in the energy, I know I'm talking to people who are very evolved, because reality is a paradox, duality is a paradox, and you are very aware of that. So because you live in this sort of paradoxical state, you live in this like undefinable state all the time, so many people want to bring you back down to reality. They want to bring you down to earth, right? This Queen of Pentacles reverse. They want to bring you down to earth. And they want to make you feel like you have to be like the rest of us. Like, you have to be just dreading your life every day. And you have to be like doing all the hard stuff that everyone else is doing. And you have to fit yourself into the box. Just like you did in childhood. Like, your whole life you've been in that. So you're just kind of like at this point where you're like, F that. No. I already did that for so much of my life, while everyone else, you know, was like, you might relate to that too. Like, maybe you were a child and teenager, maybe you felt like you weren't as free as other people, or maybe you felt like other people had more carefree lives than you did, and you were the one who was responsible, and you were the one who had to be like a certain way. That, for some of you, that might resonate. So anyway, regardless, you're just at this point where you're like, I don't want to do that. I'm not like that. I'm not like all y'all. I came here to show a different way, and you guys, I want you all to actually join me. I want you to be this free as well, and I think everybody can, if they're brave enough. You are brave enough. You're brave enough to take that leap, even if everything on the surface doesn't look like it's going to work out. You have a trust in yourself. You have a trust in the divine that it will. So that's the challenge then. It's like, really, you're in this energy and you know it. And you've come to this completion. You've come to this reflection point where you know you're this energy. You know you're this badass. But other people moving forward may be the challenge, where it's still going to be that energy of getting that sort of awkward silence from other people when they're perceiving you. Like they don't really know how to perceive or react to you. It could be this feeling of like other people sometimes even strangely wanting to like, it could even be this strange energy of like people just wanting there to be something wrong with you. Like, so people will go out of their way to almost manipulate or sabotage. And that's why it's been important for you to have really strong boundaries and maybe release a lot of attachment to people and like create something for yourself, because you know that's how people can get. You know that the lower nature of humanity on this planet is very it's very steeped in conflict, like jealousy, envy. It's steeped in like, if you can't have it, then, or if I can't have it, then no one will. If I can't have it, you won't. And so those might be the people you just have to watch out for. You might just have to watch out for people who are still trying to steal your light, steal your shine, make you feel like you have to be smaller than you are. Maybe you have certain opinions, you know, you have certain things to say, you have certain ways of being, certain family members and certain friends from the past, certain exes, certain old bosses, certain old coworkers, or old people you used to be attached to are going to have things to say. They're going to be like, it's too much. They're going to be like, you're a bad person because, you know, the whole shebang. But it's like, all you really have to do moving forward is just keep trusting yourself and keep surrounding yourself in environments and places. Keep being that Queen of Cups, right? Keep nourishing yourself. Keep putting yourself in places where you feel your best. You feel like you're going to thrive, where your cup is full, because you need to be in that state to continue showing up in this way to heal the world. Because ultimately, those people who hate you the most, those people who want to bring you down the most, in a lot of ways are actually the most attracted to you. And they actually, deep down on a soul level, are probably the people who need to learn from you the most. They're also probably the people who have the most like karmic, like again, you're a mirror. And you're meant to mirror back to people their karma as well. You're meant to mirror back to people where they are not in alignment, where they could be growing and expanding more as well. And so you have to be in this state. You have to be expressive. You have to be bold. You have to be in this like vital eros and like strength to do that a lot of the time. You can't hide your light under a bushel, you know? So yeah, that's really it. That's really the message here. And it feels very concise in that way. It feels like a real big, I want to hype you up. I want to hype you up. A real confidence booster for you to know this is where you are. And yeah, like Taurus full moon energy, it's very stable, it's very grounded, it's very firm. And you're in that. And this is a great launching pad for whatever comes next. It's a great launching pad for, it's a great moment for self-care and filling your cup before you move on to what's next. Because I feel like, as you know from your life, you are this warrior internally. You are a peaceful warrior, and you know that life is going to come with challenges moving forward. It always does, but different challenges. And so you're like, you know, I better make sure that I'm taking care of myself now, so that when those challenges do come, I know how to face it with like a sparkle in my eye and a grin on my face. A little smirk on your face, because you've got the confidence and you've got that fire and you've got that pizzazz. Yeah, you got that spunk. So that's your message. I love you lots, my beautiful collective. I hope this has resonated. Yeah, I just love doing this. I lately have just been feeling so much gratitude for all of you here, and that I get to show up and do this every day. I never get tired of it. And I was worried when I started this a few months ago, like, is this just going to be a phase? No, it doesn't feel like a phase. It feels really like something that is joyful. So I'm very happy to get to be here and to create this, and for you guys to be creating this as well. We're all co-creating this together, and yeah, that's my little Taurus full moon speech. All right, I love you lots. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.